HBO Sports presents World Championship Boxing.
The following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
As Felix Trinidad's tenure in the spotlight waned, Puerto Rico yearned for a new favorite son.
Move over, Tito Trinidad. There's a new superstar in Puerto Rico.
Debuting in the talent-rich 140-pound division, Miguel Cotto made many think he'd be the one.
Miguel Cotto has a big victory. Huge punch. Corley has hurt Cotto.
In time, difficulty making weight threatened to ruin the once unshakable Cotto.
Miguel Cotto survives a life-and-death challenge from Ricardo Torres.
In December, Cotto made the inevitable move up in weight, getting an immediate title shot against Carlos Quintana. And with one left hook to the body, a rejuvenated Cotto put the welterweights on notice. A stronger, faster, more confident fighter had arrived. Edison Miranda's HBO debut last December was convincing. Allan Green delivered one of the most devastating knockouts in recent memory. Two of boxing's brightest young stars meet tonight, each seeking a major boost to his title hopes. It's Edison Miranda taking on Allan Green, and Miguel Cotto facing Oktay Urcal. Next.
Championship Boxing is back, coming to you live and in high definition from the Roberto Clemente Coliseum in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where local hero Miguel Cotto puts his welterweight title on the line against veteran Oktay Urcal. But first, a hotly anticipated showdown between two of the sport's fastest rising young fighters, when Edison Miranda and Allan Green face off in a matchup of power-punching middleweights. A statue of the legendary Roberto Clemente outside this jam-packed stadium in Puerto Rico, an indoor arena filled with those who anticipate another showcase for young Miguel Cotto, Puerto Rico's inheritor to the mantle of Felix Trinidad as the island's hottest boxing star. Hello again, I'm Jim Lampley. Welcome to this doubleheader edition of World Championship Boxing. Later on tonight in the main event, you'll see young Miguel Cotto, who, off of his first appearance in the welterweight division, a destruction of the previously unbeaten Carlos Quintana, has graduated from being called one of the most celebrated young prospects in the sport to now one of the more celebrated fighters in the sport. Cotto's name now shows up in many of those mythical top 10 pound-for-pound lists. He's expected to take another step toward greater prominence later tonight against European veteran Oktay Urcal. But before that, what could be a middleweight gunfight between unbeaten Allan Green of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the even more highly regarded flavor of the month in the sport, Edison Miranda of Colombia, who now makes his home here in Puerto Rico. Miranda has lost a fight to Arthur Abraham of Germany, an unbeaten middleweight, but in that fight broke Abraham's jaw in two places, and off his punching power shown in his last fight against Willie Gibbs in Miami is a relatively hot prospect who might take another step toward greater prominence tonight. For more on that, let's turn to HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. Larry, the middleweight division, so long the sole province of Bernard Hopkins and then of Jermaine Taylor, now seems on the verge of a potentially rich golden era. Where do Edison Miranda and Allan Green fit into that picture?
The winner could become the middleweight that every other middleweight doesn't want to be in the same hemisphere with. And that includes the champion Taylor, who is scheduled to fight a contender graduate Mora. Winky Wright moving up to a catchweight to fight Hopkins. Abraham still recovering from the beating he got when he beat Miranda, who may wind up fighting Pavlik next. Miranda is feared most because he's a puncher, and because as a graduate of the meanest streets of Colombia, he is a tough, hard case. Abandoned as an infant on the streets himself from the age of 9, and here he is, having made it all the way to this position. An ambitious and hard young man.
Indeed,
in a hard game.
One of the greatest life stories in the sport, and a guy who's seen to have spectacular punching power, although, as you point out, Larry, 4 of his last 7 fights have gone the distance. There's been a transition as he's come out of Colombia, where it was a long string of short knockouts, into that Abraham fight, which was an unbelievable war. And both of these guys are very big middleweights. As we turn toward heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis working with us tonight, Edison Miranda, tremendously heavily muscled, has to work to get down to tonight's agreed upon weight of 162. Allan Green has spent his whole career fighting at 175, then at 168. He's 162 pounds. A remarkably cocky young man who said of Miranda, he's a stupid fighter and doesn't know what he's doing in there. If you're Miranda, how do you go after a fighter like Green who exhibits such verbal confidence, Lennox? Cautiously or forcefully?
I would say forcefully. You know, go test him out. Check if it's his nerves or if he's just talking. You know, most guys that are really confident are not that loud, so let's see. We're going to have to see it.
And that's why a lot of people are excited about the fight, because Green says, I'm going to knock him out, and Miranda says, come on, kid, I'll knock you out right away. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Once again, 2 very big middleweights in the ring tonight. Miranda, as you can see, 25 years old, 5'11", and he gives up 3 inches in height to Green, who is unbeaten from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The arm length advantage you see of 2 inches for Miranda, measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in at an agreed upon weight of 162 and then rehydrated overnight, and are both functionally light heavyweights going into the ring. Miranda at 176, Green at 175. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Edison Miranda Allan Green fight is scheduled for 10 rounds, non-title, using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. Case caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards if the 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 10th and final round. Jim.
And here's a look at Allan Green, who comes out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a fascinating young man, single father who raises 2 of his 3 children. A vegetarian, you don't see that many of them in the sport. He does eat fish, but no chicken or meat. Trained by a largely defensively skilled fighter named John David Jackson, but he is an offensive fighter in his own right who looks to make warfare with Miranda tonight.
He is primarily self-taught, he claims, although his father, who he didn't see an awful lot of, was himself a fighter, a bright young guy, not only a vegetarian, doesn't drink soda, has never had coffee or cigarettes. He's made his own way out of an unlikely place, Tulsa, Oklahoma, to be at this point.
Lennox, what about the chore of making 162 pounds when you're 6 feet 2 inches tall?
He's actually putting a lot of stress on his body when he does that. You know, he can't do that forever. He may be able to get away with it now, but, you know, later on it may affect him.
All right, so now Green in the ring, where he says he'll be waiting for a crude, less crafty fighter, and Miranda has responded to that prior to this fight by saying, I'll take care of this boy. And Edison Miranda, as you saw in our video tease, knocked out Willie Gibbs functionally with 1 right-hand punch. in Miami. There's a little bit of a debate, Lennox, because since he left Colombia, as I mentioned, 4 out of 7 fights have gone the distance. But if you watch him throw the right hand that night in Miami, or the right hand that crushed Abraham's jaw, he appears to have extraordinary power. What's your take?
He has extraordinary power, but you have to remember he's still learning the craft of boxing, and each fight is improving. And you know, when he knocks out these opponents, he's not really learning anything. So the fact that he goes the distance is good for him because he learns a lot from that.
His ambition is dramatized by the fact that he was willing to move to this hot spot of boxing and take advantage of the training you can get here to improve himself. We've seen so many Colombians come to U.S. raw with a lot of 1- and 2-round knockouts and get schooled as soon as they face an experienced fighter.
Carrying 2 flags because he was born and raised in Colombia, but now lives here in Puerto Rico and is trained by a Puerto Rican trainer, Jose Bonilla. Edison Miranda. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, buenas noches y bienvenidos a Coliseo Roberto Clemente aquí en San Juan, Puerto Rico. Esta noche, Bob Arum y Top Rank Incorporated presentan HBO World Championship Boxing, an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. This first bout is presented in association with Main Events, Warriors Boxing, and Tony Holden Productions. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this contest. Los tres jueces son Samuel Conde, Carlos Colon, y Jose Roberto Torres, and inside the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Jose H. Rivera. And now, 10 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gray, official weight, 162 pounds, a perfect professional record consisting of 23 bouts, 23 victories, 16 by knockout, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, the undefeated WBO #3 ranked middleweight contender in the world, Allan Sweetness Green. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with red, official weight also 162 pounds, professional record 27 victories, including 24 knockouts, with only 1 defeat. Originally from Buenaventura, Colombia, now training and fighting out of Carolina, Puerto Rico, the #1 IBF ranked middleweight contender in the world, Edison La Pantera Miranda.
Okay, le di las instrucciones al camarero. I gave the instruction in the dressing room. Obey mi comando, obedece mi comando. Good luck, okay?
Is Allan Green just another immodest fighter with modest talent, or is he the real thing?
Bell rings for round 1, and one tactical matchup to watch for. Miranda, a big right-hand puncher. Green, very proud of his counter left hook. He says, I'll watch Miranda throw a right hand my way, counter over the top of it with my left hook, and knock him down just the way I did Jadon Cudgington. Big right hand lands for Miranda early, and he comes back with a left hook behind it.
Miranda threw a great right hand there, you know, show Green that, you know, he's got a powerful right hand, keep that left hand up.
Green trying to establish his jab early. When you watch Miranda jab, you'll see him radically step forward with the front foot, something with which trainer Jose Bonilla has been working. He stretches the jab out. Looks a little like Lennox Lewis when he does it sometimes. Green, the more compact fighter within his framework, but of course taller at 6'2" to only 5'11" for Miranda. So far, the one big right-hand shot by Edison Miranda has defined the first minute of the fight. A lot of ringside critics expect to see the possibility, at least, of both men on the canvas in this fight. That, of course, would be tremendous pleasure for the crowd here in Puerto Rico. And, of course, sometimes what that leads to is a tactical boxing match, but almost no one is expecting it tonight.
That left hand landed.
Miranda clipping Green on the chin with the left hand. Now straight right hand lands for Allan Green and momentarily backs Miranda off. See anything in the first minute and a half that changed the psychology of the fight, Lennox?
Well, Miranda definitely wanted to go out there and show him that he's got a powerful right hand. Green still has no respect for the right hand yet. Green taking his time, just picking his spots to work, trying to get that jab in there and that left hook in there.
My impression is that Green has stayed poised in what is his first major fight against a guy with a reputation as a big puncher.
Little left hook inside for Allan Green. I totally agree with both of you. I don't think Green has seen anything yet to convince him that he's not the better boxer of the two. It's a firm belief he holds coming in.
Nice jab from Miranda.
Miranda starting to land his jab, doubles up on it there, leaves that one out there a little bit lazily and tries to come behind it with the right hand. 10 seconds remaining in the round. When you hear a whistle here in Puerto Rico, that's to indicate that there are 10 seconds to go.
This has been a feel-out round.
When we go to Edison Miranda's corner, where Jose Bonilla will speak Spanish, our interpreter is Jerry Olaya.
We got that one. Edison, come on, be intelligent. Don't go in too fast. Jab first, jab first. It's gonna be there first.
Edison, el jab le está llegando. Sigue con el jab.
He'll come right to you. Let him come to you. Okay? Just take your time. You ain't gotta touch. Just touch it. Touch it. Let that right hand go out of the hook. Okay? Take your time. Take your time. That bugger's right here. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. I got it. Okay? Be smart. He's leaping all the time. Be smart. Don't pull straight back, Allan.
CompuBox numbers on the first round find Miranda landing 17 out of 57, Green 15 out of 47. They combined to land 23 jabs out of 65. Not much to choose in the numbers between the two in the first round. And you heard Jose Bonilla in Miranda's corner saying, be patient, don't just go straight in. You heard John David Jackson saying to Allan Green, don't pull straight out. That's something that's always dangerous against a puncher, Lennox.
Well, he's using his body in a way that he puts himself in position and takes himself out of position, which most good boxers do. The only thing he needs to do is come back with some punches.
Talking about Green there.
Definitely with Green. You know, you make a guy miss, you make him pay. Don't sit back and say to yourself, okay, you missed, now I'm going to do my work. Make him pay.
Miranda jumping in with body punches. Referee Jose Rivera immediately jumps in and warns Miranda against hitting low. Green starting with a left hook there after having worked behind the jab through most of the first round. Now he goes back to the jab, misses twice.
This is becoming more of a chess match than a brawl.
Neither man wants to back off. Neither man wants to make a mistake. Looping right hand over the top by Miranda. Green rolling away from the punch. He's already shown a couple times that he can roll away from Miranda's right hand. Good jab by Green. He steps back away to create more distance. Miranda kind of reaching and pawing over the top with the right hand, eager to land one. Hasn't really gotten one in there flush since that early pop in the first round. You sense some anxiety on the part of Miranda in this second round, Lennox?
Yeah, he wants to get in there and he wants to do some damage, but it's not easy for him. Like I said, you know, he doesn't have too much boxing experience, so you know, this is what he's lacking right now.
Yeah, I sense the same thing, that there's a conflict within him. There's a part of him that wants to just jump on Green and give him everything he's got. There's another part of him that's being trained to be more patient, to set things up, and he's a little bit conflicted between the two.
Whereas Green seems increasingly confident that the fight is going the way he wants it to go.
Green's a more polished boxer, has that American style, which is very relaxed. You know, he's taking his time about it. It's, you know, like Larry said, it's confusing him a little bit. But Miranda's, you know, definitely putting more pressure on him.
And now Miranda gets Green into a corner, lands a right hand upstairs, glancing blow, comes back to the body with a hard right hand. Tuesday, March 13, Costas now returns with a look at the state of collegiate sports, including a profile of Duke basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K. Starting April 15, the premiere of De La Hoya Mayweather 24/7, a 4-episode series featuring exclusive behind-the-scenes access to both fighters as they prepare for their May 5 mega showdown. Oscar and Floyd completed their 12-city tour to promote the fight this past week, and as you see from the video inside the box there, they're not particularly friendly right now.
Listen, your boxing smart, he's slow as hell. He's right there for you. But you gotta counter off of him. When you're there, slide back and touch him. All right, he's open for the right hand, okay? And the hook, you come with the hook, step in a little bit more, all right?
CompuBox numbers through round 2. Of their 62 combined connects in the fight, 42 of them are jabs. Green 24 of 67. Miranda 18 out of 59. Again, not much to choose in the CompuBox numbers for the first 2 rounds. Harold Lederman scoring both rounds for Edison Miranda, perhaps because Miranda is the aggressor and has landed a couple of right-hand shots.
I scored that last round for Green.
I don't think it's been a particularly easy fight to score in the first 2 rounds.
Okay, hey, check it the head.
Incidentally, Green, anytime he gets against the ropes, he's turning Miranda around. He doesn't like to be against the ropes, and you know, he's making some good moves when he does that.
It'll be interesting to see how Green holds up over the course of a 12-round distance if the fight goes rounds. He's fought his entire career up to now as first a light heavyweight, then moved down to 168 pounds, fought several fights there. This is his first time in the middleweight division, although tonight they're 2 pounds over the limit at 162. Most fighters start out at a given weight and then eventually go up and maybe go up again. Green has twice moved down in weight. Perhaps with the vegetarianism, his body's getting firmer and leaner as he goes along. Miranda seeming to want to make it more of a brawl. Green turns to talk to Jose Rivera as if to say, I think he's butting me. There's a hard right hand by Miranda. Miranda did get penalized for butting against against Arthur Abraham in Germany last year. And now Green pauses to talk to Rivera again, and Miranda immediately jumps on him with right hands.
Hey,
You cut me on the butt.
And you can hear that Green is telling Rivera that Miranda is butting him.
Well, I didn't see any butt there. You know, Miranda comes in with his punches, and you know, both of them have hard heads, and I would say Miranda has the harder head.
He was penalized 2 points for a deliberate headbutt against Abraham and admits that he lost it. He lost his poise.
And already here in round 3, Jose Rivera has had to have 2 or 3 different conversations with the fighters about low blows, about headbutt. Good body shot by Green. Miranda shows a fighter's instinct, wants to come back with a right hand right away. Lands another right hand, and now Green seems bothered by the second right hand. Green backing away as if to say, I need space.
Miranda definitely putting the pressure on him. He definitely wants to win this fight. He's doing a good job at it.
And now there's a trickle of blood outside the left eye of Allan Green. And the question becomes, is the blood from head contact or from one of Edison Miranda's right hands?
Miranda has to be careful right now because he's running in at Green, which is a mistake. And you know, the way how Green is trained, he's trained to step back and come back with the right hand, so we have to watch out for that.
Right now, he's spending too much time lobbying the referee.
Nice round. Come on, breathe. Relax. Relax. Breathe deeply. All right, Edison. That guy's dying now. But listen, listen, jab. And the same instructions. He's looking for the hook. Oh. Change it.
When it comes, let your hands go. The right hand's there, you're gonna go, baby. Okay. Don't worry about the referee.
Yeah, we're gonna see Miranda landing with a right hand and coming in with the left. Like I said, he's running in a little bit, so he has to be careful about that.
Saw no indication from the Puerto Rican Commission as to whether the blood outside of Green's eye was from a butt or a punch. We're 3 rounds into a scheduled 10 between Allan Green in the black trunks on the far side and Edison Miranda in the black trunks on the left of your screen. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, 3 rounds to nothing, 30-27, Edison Miranda. Jim, I gotta tell you something, this is very interesting. What you watch for in this fight is really important, is body language. I mean, it's true that both guys are landed on an equal basis, but when Miranda
Big
lands,
left hook by Green.
As I say, Allan Green tends to grab him when Miranda lands, and the opposite is not true. 3-0 Miranda.
Green landed the big left hook, motion to Miranda to come at him. Miranda came at him and threw a right hand that landed flat. It's becoming a gunfight.
Miranda has to keep that right hand up, especially after he's throwing combination, because Green's natural punch is to come back with that left hook. So after Miranda throws his combination, he has to put that right hand right beside his face, because Green, that's his natural punch, is that left hook.
More and more, Edison Miranda is dispensing with his boxing and going right hand crazy. That's his big weapon, and he may feel as though he's already got Allan Green worried about the right hand, but if Green can land a couple more counter left hooks like the big one he landed flush, he could be changing the fight again. Edison Miranda a little slow with his sweeping left hook. Green backed away though, rather than try to counter with the right. Pace slows as Green looks for a little bit more of a boxing match. Crowd is chanting Pantera, Pantera. Edison Miranda's nickname meaning Panther.
Even the referee is getting a little bored here. Fight, fight, he's telling him.
Green's allowing Miranda to establish himself a little more. Green needs to pick up the pace a little more and establish his own self. Maybe it's difficult. Maybe he's waiting to counterpunch.
Stop. Okay, look. Stop. Look. Vale.
Big right hand by Miranda. Green shaking his head as if to say, you didn't hurt me. Almost always that means I'm buzzed.
I don't think the punch landed squarely at all.
10 seconds.
But Green is letting Miranda win these rounds with just aggression.
Okay.
Correct.
Not necessarily effective aggression, but aggression.
Meanwhile, Miguel Cotto waits to walk to the ring tonight with no music. Apparently, he wants the crowd to make its own kind of music for him. And there's the celebration inside Cotto's dressing room as they warm him up. This young man spends hours before the fight, mingling with the crowd in the arena, chatting with fans, allowing them to take his picture. Doesn't go to the dressing room until much later than most fighters. The man holding the pads there, his uncle and trainer, Evangelista Cotto. #1 fighter in Puerto Rico as of this moment, although the undercard tonight demonstrated there are still some outstanding young prospects on the way up here, including a 122-pounder named Juan Lopez, who looked sensational in his showcase on the undercard. And we'll show highlights of Lopez later on. Terrific right hooker, southpaw fighter at the 122-pound weight class, just 23 years old. Through round 4, average per round for CompuBox, Miranda 15 out of 56, Green 14 out of 43, underlining Larry's point that Green has been allowing Miranda to win rounds simply with aggression. What must Allan Green do, Lennox, to turn it around?
Allan Green needs to back up Miranda or do something, as in to, like I said, throw a lot of punches, get moving, get going in this fight. Right now he's just waiting, picking his spots to work when he needs to be trying to win the fight. Like
Miranda
right there,
moving and jabbing.
Right there, he's just standing. He needs to be doing something, throwing some combinations, working a way to get that hook in there.
At the end of the day, Miranda has simply been the busier, more aggressive fighter. Neither man has really put as much of a technical imprint on the fight as he would like to, but by having thrown more punches, Miranda has won all 4 of the rounds so far on Harold Lederman's scorecard.
Seems to me that Green is so conscious of getting hit.
Good left hook to the body by Green, and Miranda kind of drops his hands as if to say, oh, that's something new. Now Miranda dropping his hands again as if to invite Green to fight him.
Green hasn't thrown a double jab yet, and this is what he needs to do. Double, triple jabs, and then throw the hook. Keep Miranda busy with that jab so he can get in that left hook.
Well,
he keeps waiting, I think, for Miranda to make some kind of bad mistake that he can counter. And if it isn't happening, then he's got to go out and make something happen.
Well, and if Green doesn't throw double jabs and isn't throwing his left hook enough, isn't that a compliment to Miranda's right hand, Lennox?
It's a compliment to Miranda, to the fact that Miranda's giving him a lot of pressure, giving him a lot of things to think about. And
there's a double jab, exactly what you mentioned.
This is what he needs to do a lot more of. Right now, Miranda doesn't have nothing to worry about. The only thing he has to worry about is a left hook.
Crowd expected more excitement in the fight. They begin to show their restiveness. Pantera rewards them with a right hand over the top. Another right hand, this one partially blocked. Green looking frustrated, but not looking as though he has an answer for how to turn the rounds around and begin winning them. More and more, it looks as though Green is frustrated with himself for not being able to do more. March 10 live at 4:45 Eastern Time. Vladimir Klitschko defends his slice of the heavyweight title against Ray Austin in Mannheim, Germany. If you miss it live, we'll re-air Klitschko-Austin in its entirety at 10 p.m. Lennox will be there next week for that one as well, immediately following both boxing telecasts. Stick around for Countdown to Barrera Marquez, our documentary-style look at both fighters as they prepare for their March 17 matchup on HBO pay-per-view. That's Marco Antonio Barrera and Juan Manuel Marquez, who finally gets a fight against one of the other 2 great Mexican stars of his era, Barrera and Eric Morales.
Don't get in the mind game with this cat, all right? You're doing good. You gotta keep boxing like that. Get your behind. You get your behind for a night, you gotta start boxing a little better, okay?
Green looks like he's affected by that cut around his eye. He keeps on blinking. I think he's allowing it to affect him.
And again, even though Edison Miranda is not landing solid blows here, he begins the round by throwing more punches than Green, backing Green up, and continuing to look like the busier, more aggressive fighter in the fight.
Green's energy looks like it's sapped a bit. I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that he had to lose a lot of weight or what. But he seems a bit slow, a bit sluggish, like he can't get it going the way he wants it to.
Maybe at 6 feet 2 inches tall, Allan Green simply is more of a super middleweight than he is a middleweight fighter. We're fighting at 162 pounds tonight. And again, he has spent his entire previous career fighting at 175 and then 168.
You know, and most of the time he seems to be punching from the back seat. He's moving backwards as he punches. Just like there.
Throws the jab, backs away.
Yeah, I don't understand why Green's backing away, throwing the jab and backing away. I don't know if he's waiting for trying to sucker Miranda into coming to him, but he needs to try and win this fight. And by trying to win this fight, he needs to pile up the points. Throwing more jabs, more combinations.
Could Miranda's punching power be the answer to that question?
Well, Green's fear thereof.
That's what I mean.
I mean, we don't see anything here that suggests that Miranda has put any hurt on Green.
Nope. But Green moves and fights as though he's worried that Miranda could put hurt on him.
Exactly.
It's important for any fighter that steps into ring to have a plan B and a plan A. And if the plan A doesn't work, switch to the plan B.
Green steps forward, throws a single left hook. Miranda comes back over the top with the right hand. And now they go back into the dance. And the dance is mostly Allan Green trying to dance away. Jose Rivera once again warning Edison Miranda apparently for what he thought was a possible butt. I thought it was a punch.
And Miranda usually gets frustrated by the ref. Definitely in the Abraham's fight, he was frustrated. That's why he said he bucked him one time.
Well, that was a strange fight in a lot of different ways, and Miranda wound up with 5 different penalty points in the fight. Here's a look at Oktay Erkal. Parents are from Izmir, Turkey, thus the Turkish name, but Erkal was born in Berlin. Regards Berlin, Germany as his hometown, although he spends a good deal of time visiting his parents in Turkey. He's one of those Eastern European style athletes, a gym rat, in shape 365 days a year, regards himself as supremely well conditioned, but at age 37, how much does he have left? And with a shortage of power, only 11 knockouts in his career up to this point, exactly what can he do to keep the hard-punching Miguel Cotto off of him in the main event?
Come on, listen. Maybe they told him that he's behind, so come on, be careful. He's gonna come out with everything.
CombiBox numbers on power shots through 6 rounds. Miranda 52 out of 174, Green 46 out of 116. Green landing his power shots at a higher rate when he throws them. Miranda simply throwing many more of them, an average of about 12 more per round. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, I tell you the truth. I think there's only one guy in this ring that's trying to win this fight, and that's Edison Miranda. 6-0, 60-54, Edison Miranda. Jim, Allan Green's just backing up, grabbing, throwing an occasional light jab, and holding like he is right there. I mean, just absolutely is not trying to win his fight. He's more like he's trying to survive, go 10 rounds. 6-0, Miranda.
Kind of takes some of the air out of the balloon in what a lot of people expected to be an exciting showdown. Let's see if Green can do something in the second half of the fight to show more aggression, show more seeming desire to win. Round after round, he's been backing away from Edison Miranda, creating space rather than creating action.
And if you notice in Miranda's got that right hand very high. So he knows that that's Green's favorite punch to throw, so he definitely doesn't want to get hit by it.
holding the right hand to guard against Green's left hook. Miranda throws his own left hook there. That may be one of the things that's limiting Green's power punch output. I mentioned that by CompuBox numbers, Miranda's simply throwing many more power punches. Green's favorite shot is that left hook. It's hard to let it go if Miranda has his right glove up by the side of his head.
Miranda's going to see a lot of boxers try this kind of stuff on him, frustrate him. They're not going to want to exchange with him. They want to neutralize his power. But if in doing so they don't do anything, what is the point? Survival?
Well, survival certainly what Allan Green wasn't talking about coming in. We mentioned before the fight how cocky Green had been in the run-up to the fight. Miranda is seen as the guy that nobody wants to fight right now, and Green was all over. Yeah, I want it. I'm ready to fight this guy right now. I think he's stupid. I think he doesn't know what he's doing in there. So far, Green hasn't been able to make good on the boastfulness.
Even that right hand he just threw, he threw with caution.
Hey, come on.
He doesn't let it go.
Miranda throws a lot more punches than Green, but Green looks a lot more tired than Miranda.
Now Green finally throws a left hook. Miranda kind of drops his hands as if to say, all right, maybe we can fight now. That's what I've been looking for. But Miranda goes back to moving in a circle and jabbing at Green's body. We expected a war. We're getting a tactical boxing match. And Miranda begins to taunt Allan Green with body language that says, you're not here to fight. All right, we told you about Juan Manuel Lopez. He was going against a fighter named Juan Brea earlier tonight. He's the 2005 Prospect of the Year in Puerto Rico, represented Puerto Rico at the Athens Olympic Games in 2004. And this is a kid with one of the great weapons, Lennox, in a really quick right hook.
It was so fast, I almost didn't see it.
Knocked Brea down several times in the fight, both with straight left hands and with the right hook. And as Lennox mentioned, look at that. When he lands the right hook, even from distance, it happens so fast that the opponent seldom sees it. The referee jumped in and grabbed Brea at that point. He had already been down 3 times in the fight, and the referee said, enough. I'm tired of watching you get hit with Lopez's right hook. That moved Lopez's record to 15-0 with 13 knockouts. He's fighting at 122 pounds. Peter Rivera, his manager, says that's his natural weight. He has no plans for right now to move up to featherweight. Top fighter in the world at 122 pounds recently has been a terrific puncher named Israel Vasquez, who is matched tonight in a terrific fight against Rafael Marquez, moving up from 118. That's on another network. Good left hook by Miranda. And he steps away as Green misses in return.
Green appears to want to start a fight here.
8th round out of a scheduled 10.
And he
down
does.
goes Miranda on a perfect left hook. You got it, Larry. Good timing, baby.
Now the reason he got caught with that because his right hand was down. He's got to pace that right hand to his face and make sure that Green doesn't get through with that left hook.
Well, Miranda made clear at the end of the last round that he had lost respect for Allan Green. Green took advantage immediately here with that perfect left hook. Now Green misses over the top of the left hook, but that ought to give him bravery. At this point, there's no reason for him to be backing off and not fight courageously. He just put Miranda on his back.
It wasn't a hard shot. It was a shot that got through, and Miranda wasn't even in good balance to really keep his balance. He had to go down at that point.
I still think Green ought to show more courage.
Well, I hope he's not using a calculator.
Big right hand by Green. He's dispensed with the jab for a moment and is ready to fire power shots. Just as Larry Merchant said, suddenly Allan Green is ready to start a fight. Looks as though Green realizes he's behind on the scorecards, Lennox, and is ready to swing away.
Well, before swinging, he should throw that jab because the jab will set up the other punches. You know, you don't go, if you hurt a guy, you just don't go back in there with power punches. You have to throw a couple jabs, keep him occupied with that jab, and then throw your power punches.
Well, I think that Green recognizes...
There's that hook again. Miranda had that right hand up, protecting himself.
Yeah, I think Green recognizes that Miranda is not really hurt. And he's just going to box him here, maybe try to wing another punch out of him, but take a 2-point round and hope he can build on it for the last 2 rounds of the fight.
He's got 2 more rounds after this one, and 2-point round would be a pedestal on the scorecards. Harold Letterman has scored every round for Miranda, but that doesn't necessarily mean the official judges have. Another knockdown might really give Green a foothold in the fight. Another good left hook by Green, and he lands a quick left hook inside. Round coming to a close.
That may have been incidentally the first time Miranda was on the floor.
Drink. How you feeling? I'm good. Good. Come on, where's the water? Listen. He's throwing, he keeps on throwing that hook. Come on, we know what we'd have to do. Keep that right hand up. And he knows he's down. There's 2 more rounds. Come on, 9 and 10. Keep your hands up. Hands up and work the body.
And when you in there, don't grab him. Don't grab him. Both of your hands. That's all you got to do. Roll your body with his foot. How do you feel? He's done. I can do it. He's done. You understand me? When you felt early, he feels now.
And you were going to take a look at the knockdown. Left hook, as you can see, Miranda's right hand is down, off balance. He had no choice but to go down at that point. See where his legs are? He's totally off balance, and the right hand was down.
Had his feet crossed. He was moving backward to get away from a right hand that Green had already landed. So you heard Green say to his trainer, John David Jackson, I can do it. Meaning, I can come back and throw more power punches and land again. And you heard Jose Bonilla saying to Edison Miranda, keep your right hand up. Don't let him land another left hook like that.
No, stop.
A little bit more drama now as we go to the last 2 rounds of a scheduled 10.
Okay, stop. Okay. Sube, está muy bajito. No te agarres. Stop. Vamos.
Hard right hand by Miranda. Suddenly stops Green in his tracks. Miranda thinks he has something going. Now Green turns around and looks for an opportunity to fire back. Crowd has waked up. Miranda goes at it with a right hand to the body and a left hand upstairs. Miranda believes Green is hurt. Green looking at his feet as if to try to get himself set for one more big shot.
Okay. Come on.
Green's very poised in there, maybe a bit too much poised.
What do you mean by that?
He's just very relaxed, taking his time. You know, he definitely explodes with some good shots, but, you know, he needs to get it going. Last couple rounds, he's behind on the scorecards.
And he might be behind in this round. So it could be important for Allan Green to mount another one of those rallies down the stretch of this round to keep going what he got started in the last round. Now he lands a right hand inside, and Miranda comes back trying to fire an uppercut. Miranda definitely has that fighter's instinct, Lennox. You hit him, he wants to get you back immediately.
Sometimes I get the feeling that Miranda is a sort of domesticated lion. You know, he's trying to box, and that somehow it minimizes his power.
Well, he's limited with the skills, so he works against that by being aggressive and imposing himself on his opponent like he's imposing himself on Green right now.
Suddenly a lot of head movement and upper body movement from Miranda as he tries to stalk his way inside against Green. Little swelling around the left eye of Edison Miranda. That could be from the number of times their heads have banged together inside. Green momentarily wobbles against a little Miranda left hook. Now the bell rings. Miranda tries to run at Green one more time. We've only got one round to go. Miguel Cotto coming along next. And another look at Cotto warming up in his dressing room. Again, he will walk to the ring without music tonight, giving his fans in Puerto Rico a chance to make their own kind of music. If Cotto can beat Oktay Urcal tonight, he has a tentatively scheduled date on June 9 in Madison Square Garden against Zab Judah. Judah, a fighter, of course, who's been out of the sport for a year.
And lost his last 2 fights.
Step close and go to the box. Get this cat. You understand me? You understand me? Go get.
We're winning, we're winning. Now breathe now. Last round. Jab and be intelligent. Use it upper on the inside.
Round 9 was another round in which, by CompuBox count, Miranda had the edge in power shots, 16 out of 36 to 11 of 29 for Green. So it would appear that Edison Miranda has won the rounds. Allan Green has the one knockdown, having put Miranda on his back in the 8th round. Let's see if Allan Green has anything left in his arsenal for this last round.
And here is Miranda, though he's leading in the fight, trying to make it happen to his credit.
Not sure trainer Jose Bonilla would be all that excited about watching Miranda in there trying to trade and mix it up in a fight in which he seems to have won.
A big lump under the right eye of Miranda. A little bit too late in the fight to be meaningful.
And let me tell you, that right lump came from a left hook.
Definitely.
Yep, a few of them.
Great right hand by Green. Miranda leaning in inside, blunting Green's power. There's the right hand. And Allan Green was momentarily out on his feet, but managed to stay up.
And let me tell you, at that point, they
shaking his head, and Miranda gets him again with the right. And the question is, can Green last?
They traded right hands at that time, and Miranda got through his right hand.
That was the vaunted punching power, of which so much has been said. Green shaking his head as if to say, you didn't get me all that bad, but he almost went down.
And he keeps looking down at his feet. I don't understand it.
Green's a little hurt right now.
Maybe he's wondering why his feet are still upright.
1 minute to go in the fight, and Edison Miranda, who would appear to have won on the scorecards, is selling out to try to get a knockout. He's running after Allan Green. Look out for the counter left hook.
And on Allan Green's glove, the tape has come off. I'm surprised the referee hasn't stopped it.
That's been going on for more than a round.
Oh, Allan Green definitely looks up against the ropes right now. And he's going down, and he's going down.
Miranda trying to close the show for fans in Puerto Rico. And he's got them on their feet. Finally, the gunfight emerges.
Green has no legs under him right now. He cannot move. All Miranda has to do is hit him with one punch. He has no legs.
That's the second knockdown of the round.
He's hurt. Will he be able to get up? I don't think he'll be able to get up off the ground.
Yeah,
he has no legs under him.
He'll make it.
No.
He'll finish the fight. The bell will ring now. They finished 10 rounds, but Miranda was as close as you can get to a knockout without quite achieving it.
I think that Miranda rescued his reputation in the last minute of the round because he looked like a deflated tire through much of this fight.
And surely Miranda earned a lot of fans, Lennox, for gunning for a knockout in a fight in which he appeared to have already won.
And let me tell you, he showed killer instinct there because he sensed Green hurt and he ran after him. He wanted to get him out of there so bad.
That's what fans pay to see. Edison Miranda lumpy around both eyes. He took some fairly big left-hand shots in the fight from Allan Green. But when the crunch time came in the last minute of the 10th round, it was Miranda who was chasing a knockout feverishly, despite the fact that he appeared to have won on the scorecards. Miranda closed the show, landing 29 out of 45 power shots. Lennox, there's the right hand.
Crushing right hand to the chin. As you can see, Green, it really affected Green. It shocked his whole body. It affected his legs, having trouble keeping his balance. And here you see the first knockdown. Miranda looking to land that right hand. He did. He launched it. Here he is trying to get Green out. Green surviving.
The ropes were holding Green up for a while, and then finally his legs let him down. And now the second knockdown. Again, Miranda landing a right hand, and Green trying to tackle Miranda to stay up, but it was just the simple onslaught of right hands at the end of the round that ultimately changed things, Lennox.
Like I said, Green looked a bit sapped. I don't know what it is. His energy level was a bit low, and it definitely affected his legs. Miranda's got a heart of a champion, and he sensed it, killer instinct, and he went after him.
Harold, how'd you score the fight?
Okay, Jim, 8 rounds to 2, 97-90. Edison Miranda, you got to give him a 10-7 round for that 10th. Miranda wins big.
So Miranda, who has adopted Puerto Rico as his home after an incredibly hard life through the years in Colombia, where he was abandoned on the streets of Buenaventura, Colombia by a 14-year-old mother as an infant, ultimately walked hundreds of miles to find her, was denied again, worked construction at age 9, was a steer butcher at age 12. You wonder how he got that body. It's from all the hard work he had to do to survive. And let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Referee Jose H. Rivera scores at 96-91. Samuel Conde scores at 96-91. Jose Roberto Torres scores at 97-90, all to the winner by unanimous decision. Edison La Pantera Miranda.
So Miranda moves his record to 25 wins, 1 loss, and gets past Allan Green, who was a popular pick of some ringside experts to beat Miranda tonight because of what were seen as his superior boxing skills. Throughout most of the fight, Green seemed less courageous than he had claimed he would be against Miranda's right-hand punching power. CompuBox numbers at the end of the fight, Miranda landing 163 out of 516, throwing 120 more punches than Green. That's 12 more punches per round, and that's pretty much the story of the fight, as they were both landing at just about the same connect percentage. Green knocked Miranda down in the 8th round. Miranda knocked Green silly with a right hand in the 10th, and then knocked him down twice after that to seal the deal. Power shots, really the story of the fight. Miranda landing 24 more power shots, throwing 93 more, and that's a mark of the fact that he was simply the more courageous fighter, letting his hands go throughout the fight. And I think we saw there, Lennox, incidentally, all the reasons why you might not want to fight Edison Miranda, and we also saw all the reasons why you might want to fight him.
Well, you know, he's still lacking a little boxing ability. You know, he needs to get back in the gym, work on a lot of things that he's been lacking, and just get back in the game.
All right, well, let's take a look at what's coming up next on HBO Sports as we continue with our boxing calendar. Next Saturday, heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko defends his title against Ray Austin from Mannheim, Germany, and we'll bring it to you live at 4:45 p.m. That bout will be re-aired in its entirety that same night at 10 p.m. March 17 on HBO pay-per-view. Marco Antonio Barrera in what would likely be another outstanding fight in his Hall of Fame career, taking on fellow Mexican